Hello investors, welcome back. Okay, we're going to compete the computer industry against the semiconductor industry. 36 entrants in the semiconductor industry, only 3 made the list. 16 entrants in the computer and peripherals entries, only 1 made the list. Let's dive in and see how they stack up against each other. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and click on that bell so you don't miss a single episode. Make sure to tell all your friends too so they can join in the conversation. Okay, everybody, before we get started, here's a little bonus piece for you. L3 and Harris merged together, completed that action. They're now known as L3 Harris Technology. Their ticker is LHX. They're yielding 1.4% on $214.26. This is effective 27 September. You can see they're not qualified as a cash flow per share, but they are qualified as an E1. So that means they had 17 years of increasing earnings per share, with the exception of this one negative here in 2017. And they are a Div 0, so 17 years of increasing dividends per share. Here's the long-term trend here. Now this generally reflects more Harris than it does L3, but now they're all the same company. And here is the year-to-year change. All right, let's dive into our battle here. We're starting out with Intel, the first of the semiconductor companies that we're going to look at. INTC, their yield is 2.4% on $51.95. They are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share. They are a Div 1, 17 years of increasing dividends per share, with the exception of one flat year here in 14. Here's their long-term trend. Kind of jagged, but not too bad of a overall upward trend going on there. And here's the year-to-year changes. Competing with them is Maxim Integrated Products, MXIM. Now their yield is a little better at 3.3% on $58.70, so that's a little nicer. They are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, but they are also a Div 1. And their flat year was right here in 2010. Here is their long-term trend. I believe we discussed this a couple of times in our previous discussions, but you can just imagine what these board meetings must have been like here in 08, 09, 10. Of course, there were a lot of companies having rough board meetings about that time, weren't there? Here's the year-to-year changes. All right, also in this is Microchip Technologies, MCHP. Their yield is only 1.6% on $93.76. They are not qualified for cash flow or earnings per share, and they are also a Div 1. Their flat year was 2015. Here is their long-term trend, and here's the year-to-year. All right, now we're going to compare them and battle it out with the only company from the computer and peripherals that made our list, IBM, International Business Machine. Now recognize that IBM is up against folks like Apple and Cray and Dell and HP, and still it's the only one that makes our list. Their yield is also a very respectable 4.6%, and that's on $142.20. They are not qualified for cash flow per share or earnings per share, but they are a Div 0. So let's rack and stack, show them up against each other. Here we have cash flow per share, and you can see IBM. Okay, all you IBMers, don't get mad. I didn't make this a deep blue color. I probably should have. I'll think about fixing that. But you can see here IBM is outperforming the semiconductor players, Intel, Microchip, and Maxim. Here on the earnings per share, again, we see IBM outperforming the semiconductor folks, and they're all mixing it up. They start splitting up around 15, with Microchip taking the lead against Intel and Maxim. And then here we are in the dividend per share. IBM well ahead, well outperforming all the other players. The rest of the folks mixing it up again. Nothing too exciting going on out there. And over here on this corner chart, you can see IBM really outshines them with their high yield compared to everybody else. So if you're looking to get into the electronics kind of industry and you're scratching your head wondering, do I go with the semiconductor industry? Do I go with hard computer and peripherals? Boy, this really says the answer is computer and peripherals, and IBM is your choice. There's an old saying out there, I guess, you never get fired for going with Big Blue. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I look forward to your comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about us, because I'd love to see the conversation about which way you're going on these technologies.